Okay, right. Okay. I'm gonna edit this all in at the end. That's gonna be trash. I like hate myself when I edit my videos. But we're chilling. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Emily. Please hit the big old subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything in the future. Today I'm going to be filming something that is really highly requested from people when I ask for video ideas. It's something that I watch a lot on YouTube and I've wanted to film for a while, and the only reason I haven't done it is because I felt like I'm not in a position to film a video that is meaningful and has the right knowledge and enough knowledge in it. If you guys follow me on Instagram, which you definitely should because I have the feed of a goddess, hit me up, links in the description box. You guys will know that I have finished my first year of university. I am doing theatre and performance at Falmouth Uni and it's been going great, and I wanted to just share with you, oh I knocked my thing. I wanted to just share with you guys like my first year experience. The good stuff, the bad stuff, the things I liked, the things I struggled with, and some just like general pearls of wisdom that I have acquired from completing a whole year of university, living somewhere really far away from home and on my own in Cornwall, like how I found it. I appreciate that everybody's university experience is very, very different. Like I know people who will completely contradict what I'm about to say and will have had a completely different experience, like the exact opposite. But I think it's really important that everyone kind of like shares what they found and puts it out there, that it can be like whatever you make it, and I'm really happy with what I made mine. So thus the video is created. So there's no real rhyme or reason to any of the things I'm going to say. It's honestly just the order I thought of them is the order I wrote them down in, and I tried to group them together into similar things, but it hasn't really worked like that. I also asked you guys for a couple of suggestions as to what you wanted to like hear or any questions you had, so I've tried to answer them as best as I could to the best of my knowledge, ability, experience, blah blah blah. So when I first came to university, like the thing I was literally the most worried about was making new friends. I had quite a tough time in sixth form in terms of like friendship groups splitting apart, like as you do at that age, and I was really worried that I wasn't going to make friends when I came to uni and that I was going to struggle, I wasn't going to get on with anyone. Like it was just really scary, like loads of new people and you have to make loads of new friends and you don't have that comfort zone to run back to of like friends that you already know. Luckily I was really, really fortunate, even though I kind of like cocked up, like I just made an absolute tit of myself when I like introduced myself to my flatmates. We actually get along like a house on fire and I love them all to bits. They are like my family. We obviously have our arguments like now and then about the dishes and stuff like that, but like we get on so well and like they are now my best friends, and it's crazy. Like I got really lucky. Some people really don't get on with their flatmates, which is really unfortunate, and I feel really bad for them because I can't imagine what my life would be like now if I didn't get along with the people I live with. And it makes life so much easier that you could just like walk outside your room, knock on a door and just be with someone who you enjoy being with, you enjoy spending time with, and you know, it's just generally like nice to be around. Also, like, I made so many friends at freshers that I don't speak to anymore, and I think that's really important to remember, that the friends you make initially don't have to be the friends you like continue your whole year with, because we made some friends at freshers that were lovely people but we just don't speak to them anymore. And yeah, that's just the way it is. Like you can make like your best friends at freshers, which I did, like I moved in with them, which is so lucky, but you can also meet people that you're just never going to speak to again. So don't try and cling on to things too much and don't like overthink things. Just go as, you know, just go with the flow, and you might meet new people that you stay friends with for the rest of like the year, your life or whatever, and you might not, like that's fine, but I guarantee you will meet new people and make new friends. Do not worry, everyone's in the same boat, and I know everyone says that a lot, but literally everyone is. Everyone's terrified, everyone. Like everyone. In terms of people on my course, I was actually a little bit worried about this, more so like in terms of like, am I going to be comfortable around these people, like working around them, because my course is quite like a practical course. Like what if they think I'm like shit at acting, or what if they think have really bad ideas? Like it's so stupid, but I was really worried about that, and it took me a little bit longer to make friends on my course just because I wasn't living with them 24/7. I think it took me about a week or 2 weeks to like really find my like friendship group on my course. And we have quite a small course, there's only 18 of us, so it was quite like an intimate like sort of setting anyway. But those 4 friends that I made are literally like my best mates now. Like we are like the little group. It took me a little bit longer, but I got there in the end. Like I said, I made loads of friends in freshers, and I think for me, if I didn't go out in freshers, I would have met such fewer people, just because the way I made friends was through my flatmates and who they made friends with. So we have a lot of mutual friends, and I don't know, I feel like that sort of socialising was a really easy way for me to make friends. It was kind of what I was used to, although I appreciate that other people like might not fancy going out, and I know people who didn't really go to any of the freshers events and have loads of friends, so it's not like a big worry. But I did go out a lot in freshers, and it kind of became a habit. Like I'd go out a lot, and then I was kind of going out like twice a week. Like I still am really going out like once or twice a week, and that is quite a lot. Like I consume quite a lot of alcohol, but eventually when it was like I didn't fancy going out, or like I wasn't in the mood, I had like serious FOMO. Like I felt like I was really missing out on like what my friends were doing, what my flatmates were doing. And I'm like the sort of person that if people are like, oh, we're going out tonight, are you coming? I'll be like, yeah, because I don't want to miss out, even if I didn't want to go out. So it kind of became a force of habit that I just go out all the time, and eventually I kind of just got a bit tired of it. Like deadlines kicked in, and I had more rehearsals, and I was just tired all the time, and I was working. And personally, I actually found it quite hard to like say no to going out. Like that sounds really bad. It sounds like I'm an alcoholic, but I'm not. I just really like spending time with my friends like that. And my friends are the sort of people who do go out a lot. While I'm on the subject of alcohol and going out, I really want to mention money and how in my head I got around the sort of catch-22 that was like, I really want to go out and socialise, but I still want to not be bankrupt. I still find it quite hard thinking about money. Like some weeks I'm really obsessive about it, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't go out, can't spend money, can't do anything, because like I want to save money, gotta save money. Like next year my student loan's not going to be as much, so I'm really stressing about how much money I've got, what I'm spending, what I'm saving, how much my food shop costs, how much I'm spending on nights out, how much I'm spending on clothes. Like all of those things go through my mind like just one week, and then the next week I'm like, you know what, I'm only here once, I get paid, like I do work, like so I do get paid, like I do have that continuous income, so why not spend that little bit more, why not have a little bit more of an expensive food shop? And I'm really still like jumping between those, but I feel like because I'm jumping between them, it's kind of struck me a really nice balance. Like some weeks I'm really saving and some weeks I'm really spending, and it doesn't matter. The thing I found most helpful was transferring all of my student loan to my savings and all of my wages to my savings, and then my mum controls it. She doesn't have a say in what I get, but I have to go through her to get it. So that sounds really bad, I have to go through her. But if I want like £50 a week, so if I want to go shopping, I want to go for food, I want to go to the cinema, I'm just like, Mum, can I have £50 of my wages to do this? And she's like, okay. If I ask for that too often, she then steps in and is like, Emily, you've been spending quite a lot lately, so stop, which is really helpful. And I also kind of, psychologically it works, because I feel bad asking my mum for money, even though it's not my mum's money. I don't know. I don't really know how that works, but like it works, so happy days. Also, it's never going to be the end of the world if you run out of money. Like, you can always get a job. That sounds really blasé, but you can just get a job. Or if you can't get a job, then your parents will help you. And if your parents aren't in a position to help you, it's fine, because 9 times out of 10, your university will have some sort of financial support in place. I know mine does, and a lot of people I know have gone to them for support and for help and for guidance, and they are really, really helpful. So don't stress about money. Don't make it your like number one thing. There are also really good apps out there to help you control your spending if you feel like that's where you're gonna sort of like trip up. So I'll link some of them down in the description box. One of the biggest things I did experience and go through over this first year, still in terms of like lifestyle, was the fact that because I was going out more, because I'm cooking for myself, and I'm in control of what I buy and what I eat, I have like, my weight has fluctuated like a great amount, and it's really got me down. Like, it's something that's really hit me, and I am doing another video specifically on this and a couple of other things, so I will link that down in the description box, so definitely go and check that out if you want to know about this in more detail. But just briefly, because it does fit into the context of this video, yeah, my weight has fluctuated. It's been something that's really got me down. It's because I'm consuming more alcohol, and alcohol has a hell of a lot of calories, and that is something I've really struggled with. And if you do want to hear more on it, and it does, like, if it worries you at all, I really urge you to go and watch the other video, just because it's not just I've come to uni and put on weight. Like, that's not what it is. So please go and check that out if that's something that's kind of interests you or concerns you or anything like that. Also, while we're on the subject of food, cooking for myself has been so boring. Like, I cook some really cool stuff. I make really nice salads and like all these different like cool things, and I try and cook with as much variety as possible. And like after like 2 months, I was like, you know, I'm so bored of the food I'm eating, but like I just don't have, like, I just don't know what to cook. I find it a lot harder because now I'm vegetarian, and a lot of the meals I learned to cook when I was living at home were normal, like, meat including meals, and not necessarily things that I can just substitute. So I found it really hard sort of like overcoming that. Yeah, it just gets a bit boring after a while. You've just got to mix it up and try your hardest to keep yourself going. If you're okay with like pizza and pasta every night, then like seriously, like, I commend you, because honestly I found it so hard to like stick to like the same meals all the time and try and think of other things that I want to eat, especially on like a student budget when you don't have like everything at your disposal. So homesickness and loneliness. This is something else that's going to be covered in the other video as well, so please go and check that out for this in a lot more depth and a lot more detail. But just briefly, I want to mention it because I did really get homesick. I still do, and it comes about in me in the form of feeling just really lonely, not necessarily missing home, but just missing like I just feel like so by myself. And it's not all the time, like not by a long shot, but it's something that's really like got to me big time, and I'd say more so than some of the other people I've spoken to about like feeling homesick. I just want to put it out that everyone gets homesick to an extent, whether it's like every day you're calling home because you just can't take it and you want to be back there, or whether it's just like one day being like, really miss my dog. Like, it comes about in everyone in really different ways, and everyone hits it at some point. Like, usually it's about around that sort of like 2-month mark where you're sort of like realizing, like, it's that bit between like coming to uni and going away for Christmas, and you're like, oh my god, like, this is it now, like, this isn't a holiday, we're actually here. And I felt it more so over the Christmas break when I was here on my own and I didn't have uni. I have felt like a little bit more lonely because I'm not getting that family time. Like, I'm not having a meal with someone like, I'm not having a sit down meal every day with my family. I am eating my dinner on my own, I'm eating my lunch on my own, I'm eating breakfast on my own. I'm socializing with people, like I have other people in my flat, but we're not with each other all the time, and that's something that I'm not really used to. I've also really found that uni's put me out of my comfort zone. When I'm at uni and have been here for ages, like, it feels fine. Like, I feel like completely normal. Like, I'm not worried about anything. Like, it's just chill. Like, this is just how I am. Like, this is my level. And then I go home and I realise how comfortable I feel when I'm at home. And therefore, when I come back to uni, it's like I realise that the whole time I've been at uni before, I've been out of my comfort zone. I'm just used to being out of my comfort zone, and it's really scary going from being at home for like the Christmas break to coming here like in January. It was really difficult, and I find it really hard, like, every time I go home, to come back with positivity and happiness. I just find it really hard coming back here after being at home, because I realise once I get here that I've been out of my comfort zone the whole time, and home is my comfort zone, and I've just been used to being terrified. But I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. You know, it's both. It's a learning curve. So moving on to like my actual degree, deadlines, assessments, things like that, I have found it really challenging, but not so hard that I can't take it. Like, there are some times I've really struggled and really sort of had to push hard for it. Other times I've been like, you know what, this is manageable. All of my written assessments have been manageable. They've not been like excruciatingly hard. It's been like tough, but it's not been unbearable. Like, it's not something that I'd consider one of the worst bits, like, by far. The course itself has changed the way that I think about assessment. I've started to think of it as like a positive thing, like how am I improving? What else can I do to be better? And I'm really glad that I've had that change. I've also managed to juggle uni and work and filming. If you guys don't know, I do extra like acting stuff in my spare time. Like I go in short films and like generally try to get what I can, just for some experience and for a bit of fun, and I've managed to juggle that quite well. Sometimes it has been like, oh, I'm gonna have to take my laptop to work today and just finish off my citation in my lunch break, or like just type a little bit of this on my lunch break, or take my laptop to filming with me, and when I'm not like on camera just sitting away typing. But it's not been something that's stressed me out too much. I haven't had to pull any all-nighters yet. Sometimes it's been like a couple of days a bit full on, but like it's not reached the point where I'm like stressing out about it. And it's not become so much of a stress that I can't take it. Like, it's been really bearable. The course itself has taught me so much. Like, I feel like, this is going to sound really stupid, but I feel like a completely different person from who I was when I got here. And 50% of that is due to what I have learned on my course. And you'd think it's just like, oh, it's just like theatre, it's just like acting on the stage. It is, but it's also like understanding people and understanding how people act and why they act the way they act and how we interact as a society. One of the most important things that I've kind of learned and tackled since coming here was realising that I am not the most important person in the room. When I'm in the studio and I've got everyone else around me, I'm not the most important one there, and that's okay. And no one is the most important one there. That's the point. If everyone's not the most important thing in the room, then no one is, and everyone's equal. We're all part of something bigger. The last thing I do want to say about my course is and just kind of about the university in general that I've found, and I've actually really like struggled with and really sort of tried to wrestle with a bit, but it hasn't necessarily worked, is if you're on an arts degree, people will shit on your degree from all angles, like so much. I don't know what it is about people who are doing academic degrees, science, maths, English, geography, business, like all that stuff. If you're doing an arts degree, they will shit on your degree no matter what. I go to Falmouth Uni and there are Exeter students here as well. We share our campus. So you've got all the Exeter students that are doing really like academic degrees and all the Falmouth students that are doing arts degrees. And one of the biggest jokes is Exeter students going, Falmouth students, or like arts students. The amount of times someone has told me that my degree is not worthwhile is ridiculous. Like, so bad. And it really does get on my nerves because it winds me up, because I'm doing something that I enjoy and something that I want to spend my time doing, and just because it's not what you enjoy and not what you want to spend your time doing, and just because I don't have to be intellectually clever, which I am quite intellectually clever. I did really well in my A-levels and my GCSEs. I did science, I did maths, I did English. I was clever, but I just chose to do something different. Just because you think that because I don't need to be clever means that I'm not, or that my degree means any less, really pisses me off. I struggled a lot before I came here with my parents and getting them to understand why I wanted to do the degree that I'm doing, and I still struggle with people now doing it, and it upsets me a lot when people make jokes about it. So if you are doing an arts degree, don't want to put you off it, but people will shit on your degree so hard. But yes, that's what happens. Before we get too depressed with all of the things that piss me off about uni, I am going to mention some pearls of wisdom that you can take with you if you ever go to university. Create a store of backup food that you can keep in your room or in a cupboard that are really easy to prepare and is non-perishable, so that if you don't have food, you can just whip out your pot noodle and eat that until you have time to go shopping. Or if you're really hungover and it's just really easy to make, like stick some beans in the microwave and eat that. Like, have that bank of food so you don't starve. It's been my saviour, full stop. Get a really good cookbook that's good for students and good for like your dietary needs. This is kind of linking back to when I said that I find it really boring to cook. Getting a good cookbook is really good at sort of overcoming that and giving yourself some variety and something a little bit more exciting. Uni shower drains are crap. Well, at least mine are. If you have long hair like me and shed a lot, be prepared to call maintenance at least every month being like, can you come and unblock my shower please, because my shower's flooded and it's blocked with all my gross hair, thanks. Don't leave your kitchen windows or French doors open overnight or you will get bird shit and birds all over your kitchen. Turning your fridge freezer to a colder setting will not make your vegetables last longer. In fact, it will freeze your lettuce and half the things in your fridge, making them unedible. Depop has saved my life. If you are really worrying about money, Depop is amazing, or any other sort of like secondhand selling websites or apps like that. You can just list stuff you don't really wear anymore, don't really want anymore, and people buy it and you just get money out of nowhere from things that you like were otherwise not using. It's honestly saved my life so many times. I've been so poor and then someone's just bought something off my Depop and it's just made my day. I have written on my little note card, in capitals, painkillers and coffee. Freezer bags and Tupperware will actually save your life. There are so many things that I make. I accidentally make like 2 portions of something and I'm like, well, I can't eat it now. Pop it in a Tupperware, pop it in a freezer bag, pop it in the fridge or the freezer, and it makes you multiple meals. It makes your food go further. It makes it last longer, so you're not throwing things that are going rotten in the bin. You can just freeze them instead. It's been something that's really, really helped me out, and it's also very good for the environment. Thumbs up. Drink Lambrini. It's fucking cheap as, and it will absolutely fuck you up. It's brilliant. There we have it. There's my first year of university experience, tips, tricks, struggles, things like that. Can't really find a name for the video yet, but there will be one. I hope this is helpful to some of you. I know that I find it really helpful listening to other people's first year experiences, and I understand that everyone's is different, so I really want to get my story out there so that people can like kind of compare and think, well, they did this thing but they did this thing and this thing sounds so much cooler. I just really want to emphasize that it is whatever you make of it, and it's not something that's set in stone and everyone's going to have the same time, or you're going to have the same struggles as I am or the same good bits as I am, but it's individual to everyone, and that's really important. I know it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but a hell of a good amount of it is. Like, the majority of it is a fucking great time, and you'll come out of some days and you'll like lie in bed and be like, that is the best day of my fucking life. Other days you'll want to like be like, I want to leave, like I'm done. But 9 times out of 10 you're like, I fucking love it here. I know I am. Some people hate it, but you know, 9 times out of 10 I end the day knowing that this is the best decision that I could have ever made for myself. And I think my biggest advice is just soak up all the opportunities you can, because you get so many coming here and you don't even realise you're being given these opportunities, but like look for them and notice when they're being given to you and take them, because you're only going to have these 3-4 years once. Like, it's not something you're going to get that's going to come around again easily, and you're only young once, so just do it, just go for it. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to pop them in the comments section and I will get back to you on them. If you want to message me on Instagram or anything, all my links are in the description box below, so definitely go and check me out, follow me, message me, do whatever you like. I always post loads of stuff on my story and I'm a lot more active on Instagram than I am on YouTube, so go check me out there if you want to follow along with the stuff I'm doing. Also, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, because I'll be doing loads of cool stuff over the summer that you do not want to miss out on. And also give this video a nice big like if you want to see more of it. There is going to be a part 2 of this video where I talk more in detail about some of the stuff I've kind of glazed over, and about the things I really struggled with, like mental health wise and emotionally, coming to uni, and how I overcame them. So definitely go and check that out. Also press the little bell icon if you want to have notifications whenever I post, which means you won't miss anything. But other than that, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I know I enjoyed filming it. I have a really dry mouth now, so you can probably hear me like... If you guys aren't doing anything right now, go check out some of my other videos. There'll be a couple on the end screen and there'll be a couple cards, so go check some of them out because they are super fun and I really enjoy filming them, so go give them a watch. But if not, I will see you next week in another lovely video. Adios.